people. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Yeah, today I'm gonna talk about my e-commerce. I've been since like the start of the whole quarantine thing. My painting business fell away because, well, obviously I wasn't essential, and just going over to some people to like paint their walls and then like get sick. That wasn't really appealing to me. So yeah, my I had to refocus on like more my website business, and I'm a pretty good like web builder. Actually, I spent like 30 years on becoming a really good programmer. There's pretty much no challenge that I probably couldn't like deal with. Um, when it comes to programming, I can make apps, I can make websites, I used to build like Windows applications for small businesses, work with databases, I can make games, I can make all sorts of stuff. Uh, but when I was like I said, like I was making like Windows programs for small businesses, and I heard like my boss talk with like the manager above me, and they were like bragging about or talking about one of my new assignments, and I heard them talk that they're gonna get it's gonna be like 20,000 for this assignment, and now also wait a minute, I just like no more than like say 2 months work for me, so I realized that that was like 80% of like I was gonna do like 99% of the work, the real coding. Now, of course, they have to like make the deals and stuff. I'm not saying there's no work in that, but like the real coding of that program that they were gonna sell for like 20,000, that was like mainly my job. And even though there were more people around me that were helping me in doing things, yeah, I felt a bit like unfair that I was like getting maybe 20% of that, and then even like there was kind of taxes above that, so it was more like 10%. So yeah, I felt maybe it's a smart idea to start business for my own. So I was like really focused on like becoming my own business. Yeah, an entrepreneur. And but I always thought that, but it's not that I don't want to work for people. I mean, if they need me, and like actually I've been like as a painter, like I had my own business, but I was like still doing jobs for people, and I still offer myself to like make apps for people or do websites for them. Um, but the thing is that if you like work for somebody, even as you have your own business and you're doing jobs for somebody, you are you it's not scalable because your time is not scalable. You have only so much time in the day, but if you build a product, and that's one of the reasons why I started like doing became to program as well. If I build an application, you know, like Mark Zuckerberg, he made like a website, and now he's like so rich because that website was scalable. Like all the users and all the this whole business was scaled up, and he started with only maybe a few like Facebook users, and now like so many fake uh, Facebook users are using his product, but it's not dependent on his time. He doesn't need to spend time to get more Facebook users. It's not. It's like you have to spend some of his time to keep the thing rolling, but it's not like if he wants like 100 extra Facebook users, he needs to spend 100 extra hours because every user takes an hour. So and that's what scalability is. If you want a business that is not dependent on your time to scale, of course you always have to put business in your time. I mean, um, people talk about passive income, and of course, like you can dial it down if you're happy with the business at where you at, and you just want to go on a holiday. But but if you want to grow your business, take your laptop, take your iPad, and do some work while you're like somewhere in the Caribbean or something. And that's probably what I would do. but yeah, but if you have a scalable, if your business is scalable, the growth of your business is not is dependent on your work, but it will stay the same even if you put not as much time in. That's like the perpetual business that you have, and that's kind of why I want to go into e-commerce. And I already was like learning websites. I was a bit bored with making Windows applications and databases, because I mean the Windows thing is like it's like a very I mean they're kind of like now they have more color in it and stuff, but they used to be very boring gray, and I didn't want to look at gray all day and program buttons. Yeah, I went into websites, and from there I started doing like the Magento. Here I can show you. This is my Magento website where I sell websites. Now I haven't really promoted this as much as maybe I should have last couple of years, because it's such a commitment. I've set up some websites for some people, but I was taking care of my mom, and um, but that actually was not the. I think the more of the thing. I think one main mistake was that I always thought I'm just going to become a better programmer, and as I become a better programmer, and I can do more things, or that's why I learned Magento. I not only can build Magento websites, I can actually make modules for them. Now making a module for a Magento webshop is not easy, and I tell somebody who can like it would be more easy like to program a computer game, yeah, than to than to make then it was that was more easy for me, a lot more easy than having to learn this. But eventually I was able to do that. It was actually it wasn't even that difficult, but the most problematic thing was like getting the information, um, because the Magento weren't really providing up-to-date usable information for me to how to learn to build this. So I had to really like the search for that was really hard, and I'm pretty good at searching. I think a big part of like being a good coder is getting your information quickly and effectively. So I'm really good at that. But even for this, like making modules for Magento was really hard. Also, getting to know their system. This is a very complex system that they have behind here, and yeah, it was a lot of work getting to know that. And but the main thing I guess was like actually selling things, because I spent like 99% of my time was always into becoming a good coder. I always thought, well, if I'm a better coder, I can get a better job as a coder. My hourly rate would be higher and better as I become more skilled. But like I said, like if you want to be scalable, then it's then your hourly rate is nice, but your hours are not scalable. And that's the problem. You can scale the level of your hourly rate. You can become a better programmer, but you cannot have more hours in a day. I cannot work the more. Yeah, you want to work like 40 hours, maybe 50 hours, but you don't want to like, especially like if you want to have a life too, and still then you can work to 80 hours, but there's an end to how much hours you can work only in and like I said, like I've been like last couple of since like Corona started, last couple of months, I've been like 16 hours a day. I've been pretty much behind my computer listening to all these videos on e-commerce, like studying like 16 hours a day, and just listening to all this stuff and watching that, and getting a feel, an idea of what e-commerce is, because uh, like being a business person, I always loved being a business. I want to go into business, have my own business, but I think I made a mistake in just not like anyway. I got good at this making these Magento web stores, and then when I became good at making shops, I thought, well, why not have set up a shop of myself? So I thought like one of my friends, he was into like vaping, and so I thought maybe a vaping store, because I thought, well, vaping is a lot better than smoking, and I thought then maybe promote that and stuff. So I started thinking about, and also we had we made like this. We had this big project, and it's a bit like it's exactly like Beslist. Actually, if you know Beslist.nl, it's like about searching products. And but the problem we had, like we were so focused on coding, and we didn't have anybody in our team. We were just two guys trying to build this website, And it's like, I don't know if you know the story of Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs didn't make the, yeah, he, Steve Jobs had Wozniak. Wozniak was the guy who actually built the first computer. He was the technical guy, and Steve Jobs was the business guy. And I realized that I need to be the Wozniak and I need to be the Jobs. I needed to be both to be good at. So now I'm focused on being Jobs, because I know I'm good at being Wozniak. I know the technical stuff. I'm not even phased about that. I don't think there's anything that I couldn't tackle technically. But and I know I have a lot of confidence in being a good Jobs person. But actually, you have to put time into that. So that's what I've been doing. I've put in lots of time just getting to know e-commerce, and actually as I like was starting to do that, I was opening one door, and as I was opening one door, like for like more YouTube videos, and there was like another door, and there's another door. So I'm just going to show you guys today, I'm sorry for the long intro, the doors that I started to open. And actually as I opened more doors, it was like, well, which door I'm actually going to go through. So I'm just going to show you, after all this like months of studying e-commerce, where I'm at and what I've kind of like what the things that I'm doing. So so one of the basic things is like drop shipping. Drop shipping is very popular. So if you start to Google e-commerce or like making money online, you will probably get hit with something about drop shipping. And before this started, when I was like building my own, like I said, like my own web store with Magento, I did think about drop shipping, but I thought, well, I don't know, that's like, it seems too fake or something. I'm just going to be honest about what I felt and thought about as well. I thought, well, you can never build a business like that, and I had all these pre-assumptions about drop shipping. And I realized now I know that they're not true actually, but it started with watching these videos about dropshipping and realizing that actually a lot of big companies are just dropshipping. So you can have like $1 million company that has a website that you think, oh, these are the big guys, they probably have it in a warehouse and shipping it themselves. They might be drop shipping themselves. It's really normal to drop ship. And drop shipping is when a product is sent from the warehouse where it's originally like manufactured, like in China. So if it's a Chinese project and it's in a warehouse somewhere, and a company from there sends it directly to the customer. So you could just get away with, like, this is AliExpress. A lot of these, let's see these flowers here. If you want these flowers, 157. Now you could just sell this maybe for like €5, and then now this seems like, oh, this seems unfair. Why is asking €3 more? That's even more than double the price. But you have to see, this is like the manufacturing price. This is not the shipping to, like, say, America or to Holland. This is just the production price. So if a company, a Dutch like warehouse would buy this, they also would buy it for this price, probably a little bit less. They would probably, like, maybe they would put an order in for 10,000 pieces. Maybe they get this for €1, $1.25, $1. They would get to buy 10,000 pieces of this. But these companies offer this for this price, and then you can just order one item and send it to one person. But of course, you would need that. Let's say you get like 100 orders. You need to have 100 times. You have to buy 100 of these things. You would need to have that money actually in the bank to be able to buy this and send it to that person. Now, there's no use of sending those people to AliExpress and telling them, oh, buy this thing, but you wouldn't get any profit. So what you do, you can just send up like a Shopify shop, for existence. A lot of like YouTubers like talk about Shopify. Shopify is kind of like, you can set it up. It's like 300. It's like 300. It's like 360 a year, and then you get the first few months are free. And now for me, I don't need. I already have, as a web designer, I have my own server. I can set up professional websites like Magento, So I don't need to do that. And actually, if you want, I could do that for you. If you need a website, I could set up a Magento store like for the same price as like say Shopify store, probably a bit cheaper. And I could even like coach you and help you with doing that. And so that's I would advise that because like if somebody would buy something in your Shopify shop, the Shopify shop wouldn't just probably give you that money straight away. Will take a few days for Shopify to give you that money. Now if I set up a web shop for you, I never will receive any money from your web shop. That money that will go directly through your payment system that you set up. I have this payment system that I set up for some other client, um, and they will take PayPal. They will take like credit. All these banks. They will just accept whatever bank people are using. They will accept the payment, and you will get a notification that something has that the item has was bought in your shop, and that you can now. Yeah, and you get another notification that the money is in your bank, and now you can go to like AliExpress. You can buy that product and then look at your website. And I mean, there's a backend to this, and in this backend you will get you will be the only one having access to that. I will give you all the codes, and you can look up the address and the amount of items. Did you buy 1 or 10? And then you can just like buy those items and send it to that and tell this company, give the address of the person that has sold it, has bought it from you, and then they will send it to that person. And AliExpress, they will not put anything on it like, oh, this is they will just give a neutral thing that it will not. They will probably show the name of your website. So if you make like a flower shop, it's a flowershop.com, and they will put flowershop.com on your on the packaging. And when they receive it, the customer will get this product with and on the packaging will say flower shop. And of course you can do that through Shopify, but it will take longer for the customer to receive it. And so if you have like 100 items to be sold, you have to wait for all those 100 items, their money to come in, be cleared from Shopify and actually be put into your account. And then when all those things are, when the money is finally in your bank account, then you can go to AliExpress, and then it still needs like maybe 2 weeks of shipping from China to them. So you're adding another third week on top of that by going through Shopify. Overlow is something that you could like install on your phone, and it's very popular also on YouTube to like connect Shopify with AliExpress. But the problem, I think, well, not a problem. That's not a problem. But the thing is that a lot of people are doing this, so you have a lot of, kind of competition of people like using Shopify, Oberlo, and this, just copying, pasting products and putting those on Shopify store. And I think that you could do that, but the thing is that if you're serious, then I think it would be better to like maybe set up your own web store and start doing it this way. Not only will you get the money directly in your account, but also you can like completely change the web store to your look. And if like maybe one day Shopify is no longer there, or there's some, let's say there's trouble with your account on Shopify, maybe you accidentally buy something that or sell something that had copyright on it and you didn't know that. Maybe here there's a brand beneath, here is a brand name from some well-known flower shop thing, and you've been selling this product, and then suddenly you get a strike on your account and Shopify shuts down your account, and you're getting like 10,000 euros a month from that, and now you're not getting that money, and maybe you were using that to pay your bills, and you need that money and it's gone. If you put it on a web store, I'm not gonna look, oh, what are you selling, you know. If you are selling the wrong things, then that's up to like the government to to do something about it. It's not my business, or like the server that it's on, it's not their business. I might warn you, tell you, like, look, you can gonna get in trouble with this. So if I see it and I notice it, even if I even look at it, I would probably tell you just to warn you and say, well, look, this is not smart what you're doing, but it's really up to you what to do. And yeah, um, but yeah, Shopify is kind of like taking responsibility for what is happening. Like when people wanted to like sell like the masks on it, they didn't allow it. So stuff like that can happen on the Shopify store. I just want to give a quick overview, and I'm just going so deep in everything. So now, of course, when you have these items on like your Shopify, you need to, or on like your Magento store or anything, you need. How are you going to get traffic? Because if nobody, you can, I mean, you could put a little post in your Facebook. Look, I got this store, but there's like maybe 100 people watching that, and maybe one person will actually go there and buy something. And that's not going to build a business. Now, one of the things is Facebook. You can like here, you can do ads on Facebook. What more? There is Google Ads. You can do ads on Google. And if you have like another thing, if you have your own site, SEO. SEO is your keywords. So if you like say you have a flower shop, you say flowers this, flower that. You just make this whole bouquet. You set up all these words that will feed into Google, and Google will see that, and they'll say, hey, look, there's this flower store, and this guy, he types in, like in Google, he types in flower business, we need flowers. Oh, he's living in this, he needs this. So, oh, I want this type of flowers, and you have on your website exactly that type of little peony, yeah, artificial peonies. So somebody types in artificial peonies, and you have artificial peonies on your store, and it's well, and you have good SEO. So now Google will send that person to your store because you have that. And so, and that's like yeah, that wouldn't cost you any extra money. But yeah, there are also, if you so those that, and there are other things like you can have like an Instagram account. So you can have an Instagram account, put like all these flower photos on it, and then once in a while you put a little ad to your own like web shop and say, well, look, you can buy these flowers here, you can do this here, and then you have all these, like here, this is another Instagram account of all these yeah things. Let me see what I have. What's this? Okay, now Alibaba. Now Alibaba is, it sounds a bit like AliExpress, but it's a lot different. Where AliExpress actually is more of they're really, this is a really drop shipping thing. So this is Alibaba. So other or AliExpress. AliExpress is really for like drop shipping. If you want to drop ship, this is the place to be. Alibaba is like next level. So maybe it's not something maybe you want to start with, although you could. But this is like something like you can evolve into, because you would actually have to buy like 10,000. So if you want something of here, yeah, you just have to buy like 10,000 of these things. Like if you want this thing, you want to sell this on your this colorful dress, yeah, then you would have to like buy maybe 100 of these things, and then like you would buy 100 of them for 25, or maybe you can get a little discount if you like make some arrangement with these people, and then you can just sell this product on your site. But of course you have to wait for the 2-3 weeks for it to come in, and if you want to buy 100, so it's 2,500 to buy 100 of these things. So you would have to invest money, and then you would have to have a place where you would place those things, because they're going to take up space. So you're going to have a couple of boxes with this clothing. Actually, I'm working on my own project with my friend, my brother from Africa, from Nigeria, Precious Shita. He was here actually. I let him live in my home because he was like basically vagrant. Like I was always almost to tears when I saw how he was living. He was actually he was in my church. He said, well, I need work. And he said, well, come. I was doing volunteer work. I was just painting the building. And I said, well, come work with me. Hopefully God will bless you with something. And as I was working with him, I was like giving him some money every time, because, it was just a gift. It wasn't really for the work, but it's more like, well, you can expect a guy to do something all day long. There's no money for food or anything, or even for travel. And although I didn't have any money, I was still trying to give him some money. And then yeah. So, but he ended up taking care when I had to go to. We had this thing where we were like helping orphans, and I had to go away, and he took care of my mother while I was away, and my mother was already then kind of like a bit in. Yeah, it was. I was scared to go away without anybody looking for my mom. So I was happy that he was staying here and looking out for my mom. So if anything would happen, at least there would be someone around to notice it. And although, so that was very happy for him to do that. But eventually, he went back to Africa. My church helped out, and I was really grateful for that. And yeah, I think he's married now, and he has like a good business with building, making buildings. I saw some Facebook stuff. He like made this beautiful like a shop there, like a food shop, and it looks really good. But well, I don't know why I'm telling this whole story, but anyway, I sent him a message, said, well, can you look for clothing? And so he's looking for clothing, African clothing, because I thought, here, let me show, I think I have like this. Also, there's another tool called Canva. Canva. So this is a little setup. Actually, um, uh, my idea, and I always had this idea since I was a little child. Actually, when I was young, I always thought it was so unfair. And I think this is very, in these times, it's very kind of trending with all the things that happened, like George Floyd. Everybody's very upset about racism, and for me, I mean, being growing up with like an Indonesian stepfather, my father was like half Indonesian. Like I was like I will racism has been like such a obvious thing for me that yeah, and although I am white, I've always been very aware of it and hateful of it. I'm really disgusted with hate with racism and just people looking down on other people. Um, and yeah, and just in general, people that are, and because even like with my mother being sick, I mean, even when I walked around across this, when we went together outside, I saw these people looking at my mother, and they could see that she was sick, and they were like, "What's going on with her?" And you could see their eyes, and I was just, man, I was like, I'm like, oh, they're so stupid. Like I had to watch that, how they were looking at my mom. I'm like, well, get a life. I mean, there's so many people that have problems, and yeah, and so I kind of know what it is. If people are looking funny at you or whatever, or doing, being treated different, like that's basically the story of my whole life. But and even like the things they said about my father and stuff, sometimes said things like, "Oh, that Chinese guy." I'm like, "What Chinese guy? He's like Indonesian. You don't even know he's in, and just things like that. And yeah, so I've been very sensitive about racism all my life. But I think that eventually, I'm glad that a lot of that is like going becoming less and less. Um, but for me, I want to go to the next level and like actually help people. And if you look at like how like the Dutch, we have extorted money from like all these countries like Indonesia, Africa, and just like pillage them really. And I know I'm sounding like like but yeah, it's like uh, I mean, what else can you call it? I know it's a long time ago, but if you look at a lot of these like big like shell companies and whatever, it seems like, I don't know if it's like, if you it's like some, if the power level, if these companies, they have so much money, it's easy for them to like get into position of power and like influence yeah, better positions for themselves. Um, And so I don't think so. When I look at Africa or like other countries, I think that there's a lot of exploitation going on, and what we really need is like for the people there, like the normal people, uh, I mean the poor people, or just any people there, to be give them a chance to build their economy, and not just from like yeah, from like selling resources, because that's what go to the rich people. No, like actual people that live there, give them something to give them a marketplace, and that's what I want to do. I want to build a marketplace for African people. Actually, I want to be their marketplace. I want to, and that's why as my friend look around for clothing, I want him to look at local factories, small factories that are producing clothing for the people there locally, and I want to start like selling those on my e-commerce uh, e-commerce programs, and then a lot of like they're probably gonna get most of the money is gonna just go through to I want to be it's gonna be fair. So I don't I rather just ask more money for people to give them the money that they deserve, and then sell less product than trying to get than extorting, you know. And that will be also the whole thing about this business, is that it has to be fair, you know. I will ask my friend, and I probably will go there to Africa at some point, and just check where all everything is coming from. Is what kind of businesses are giving this? How are the people taking are the people taken well taken care of? And I might even set up programs that will make sure. I'm actually thinking of down the line, like maybe we can like set a program like a microfinance program, where you would like finance like maybe a woman who want to have their own business to be independent. We could like give them like some tools to produce clothing. They can do that from their home, or we could make a little workspace where like they can come together and do that. And then we would provide the microfinances so they could actually buy their own equipment. So they would own it. I don't think of like renting. I don't like renting. They will buy it from, and then, but they will give. They can have like a little loan that is completely safe for them. It's probably not going to be that safe for my business, but I want it to be safe for. Well, you can try to figure out something that goes both ways, you know. But it's not going to be one-sided. I don't. So if they lose, like if they get sick or something, we're going to also provide something, some system where maybe the other workers, the other people would like chip in for that person until they get better, or even the company would like. I mean, it's arranging things for people. It's the managing things, because if you don't have any money, and I've been in a situation my whole life, if you don't have really it's like crabs in a bucket. It's like you're trying to crawl out of your shit, and you should like you look crabs out of a bucket, and if you have a bucket full of crabs, if one tries to crawl out, the other people are gonna pull you down. And I'm not talking about the people there, but I'm talking about the situation you are in. It's like you're trying to go out of a situation, but you don't have the knowledge or the financial. There's nobody gonna say, "Oh, here, man, I'm gonna give you this tool." Yeah, and I'm gonna give you this opportunity. Like last year, my friend, he said, "Well, I need a painter. Come paint with me," and I could just come along with him and started painting, and build my own business. And working of his connection, of his experience, he was teaching me a lot more, so much more than I already knew. I thought I was a good painter, but I realized I was really amateur. And I became a professional painter because he taught me, and he gave me this opportunity to make money and to work. And that's actually what I want to do for these people in Africa. I just want to like buy clothing from them. Started buying clothing from these companies already. Economy is boosted, and as soon as that is like working and I get better at like selling those clothing for them, I want to go in and just do what I just told you. Okay, so enough of this. So I had this thing Build Africa Clothing Co. And the thing is that actually Build Africa already exists, and maybe somebody who is listening could please help me to find a good name, because it's been so hard. I've been thinking on for this like for a whole 2 days, which is like a lot of time for me because like I could have been studying and learning and doing other things, but I guess it's part of the project. I don't shouldn't be impatient, but so Build Africa is taken, and I've been looking everything I googled. Like I googled something and it was, oh, it's taken, it's taken, it's taken, and so I'm trying to find something that is looks a bit like this, or like sounds a bit like this, or just the whole idea. Like I want to build Africa, I want to help their economy, the people there. I want to give them an opportunity to work and do things, but also it has to convey the fact that I'm selling clothing. So if you can come up with something, who knows? Maybe I would really appreciate it. But yeah, that's like what I'm, because I was like I really want to post this thing that I made, this first little thing. I mean, I want to put it on a T-shirt and maybe try to sell it because I like how it looks. But the thing is, Build Africa exists, so I can't do anything with this actually. I need to like fix this and find a good name for this whole project and this company. Um, so yeah, that's actually where all the things I've been thinking about has worked into. But I've been skipping some things. So because I was talking about Alibaba, about buying things from a manufacturer. Now this Alibaba is from China, and as my I'm not saying I'm not never gonna do that. I'm just gonna try all these things out. Maybe I probably will do something with I might do something with AliExpress. Probably gonna skip Shopify because I already have my own website system. I could do it maybe just so I can share with you how it works and stuff. Maybe and then put in Oberlo. Maybe I just to make a video on it or something. Facebook ads. Actually, I just this is actually this is a way to. This is also something I'm probably gonna try at some point. Okay, Etsy. So what's Etsy? Etsy is actually a marketplace, and marketplace is where people can buy stuff, right? So, and it's made for people that make their own stuff, so handmade products. So all these things, like this little thing, probably somebody made this by hand, or this kind of handmade. Now you can still like here you see this. These cups. Now, no, but this not handmade. These are not handmade cups, but the design on it is handmade. Somebody made this design and put it on a cup, and now they're selling it here. And like these socks, yeah, they're all like somebody is like some things might be really handmade, and some things might be just like the design of it. Like this design of this pillowcase is probably handmade, or maybe somebody actually made this whole pillowcase by hand. That also could be a thing. I don't know. But so this. So now either if you like crafting your own things, I'm just saying like. But the problem is it scalable? Let's say you design this print on the pillowcase, then you could like ask like a print on demand. Let me look. Printify is print on demand. So print on demand is like you can print something on a t-shirt, you can make a design, and they will print it on the t-shirt, and then here you see add your design here on a cup. They will add it like a phone case, they will add your design, and you just make up something funny, and in like I said, like in Canva, where is Canva? So I made this up in Canva, and I could just take this image, put it in like a PNG or something, and then I go to Printify, and I put it on t-shirts and then sell it. And this was actually the first thing I want to do, because I'm still waiting on my friend Precious to give me like, he was looking for products, and I asked him to give me pictures and like price ranges and stuff, and we discussed. He said, well, what do you need? He said, he came back to me and said, well, do you want them really cheap, really high quality? What do you want? So he gave me all the options. He said, well, I want them to be high quality because we're gonna send this all over the world. I don't want people to send this back or be upset that the quality is low, or that the threads are hanging, or something, that something is wrong with the product. It needs to be high quality, and it also has to look really good, because if you're gonna buy something on a website, you're not gonna buy something that you can buy on a corner. You're not gonna buy white t-shirts on a website. You want something really cool on the shirt. You want some really cool designs, or like some really cool clothing. And this is It's going to be African clothing. And like, if I already look at Canva, I really love this. This, like, probably their grandmother or something. This design that she has. It has this beautiful, like, design. And yeah, I kind of messed around with the colors, but you can still see they have really. Can I open it bigger? Maybe you can see it a bit bigger. Yeah, you can see the patterns here. Look at these patterns, and the original colors are pretty good too. So it's still, it's really nice. And now I don't think you're gonna walk around with this type of clothing, but you can imagine having a dress with these kinds of fabrics or something. That can look really good. So I did like fashion school for 2 years, because I messed up like going to like my HAVO, like this, like and I want to do that, to go into like art school. And when I messed that up, I did the second best thing. I went to like fashion school, because there were like there were 13 things you could like things they were teaching, and 9 of them had something to do with like art, like from like graphic design to clothing design and all these things. And I thought, well, sign me up, like I want to stay in this lane of doing graphics. So I'm going back to that with like making designs for t-shirts, and maybe who knows, maybe I will design clothes again, I don't know. But okay, so Redbubble is a combination of what Etsy is. So Etsy is a marketplace. Etsy is just a marketplace. You cannot, I don't think it prints anything for you. But if you have if you have a product, you can go to this marketplace, and they will sell it for you, or they can buy it. People can buy your product on there. Now Redbubble, and then you have Printify. Printify just prints things for you. So you have to connect Printify with Etsy to sell a product. So let's say this little dog collar, yeah, is printed. Well, let's say these cups, these cups are printed on Printify at your design here. So you make up some nice funny logo thing to put on the cup, and then you sell it on Etsy. Now Redbubble is both. This is Redbubble. It has its own marketplace, so people can buy things, stickers, posters, t-shirts, and artists can put their art on here, and it will automatically be available on all these things. It's very easy for artists and I know I've been like, it's really like I'm an artist, I'm a coder, and I'm an entrepreneur. But it's so hard sometimes to switch between the 3 of those things, because when you're in the art zone, you are so creative. It's really hard then to switch over to coding. And when you're into coding and arts, then the business is really hard, because then you have to more think about how I'm going to sell this thing. And those things are really like, it's hard to switch. So now I'm really into the entrepreneur stage, but again, I'm being forced to do the art thing, and it's still like fun. Like I did the little Canva thing here, just setting this up really quick, and just messing around with this photo, find this photo, and then making. And I like how it looks. I really like how it looks. I hope you like it too. But I need a better text on it, and I want to make like a dozen of these things, but I need to have a better name for the company. So, what's this? Teespring? Teespring is actually also it's a marketplace. I think, if I'm correct, it's a marketplace, and it is wow. This is really slow. Probably like the picture is gonna be like so high quality. Okay, so it's a market. So Teespring is kind of like Redbubble. So if you're an artist and you like to do art, or if you're a creative writer, you can make T-shirts here, or you can like cooperate with me, and I can help you like do things. We can work together. Maybe if you have creative, if you're a creative writer, you could help me maybe with like thinking of like maybe the name for this company. You could maybe yeah, for text on yeah, diet of protein deficiency, said no vegan ever. Now you can uh, make up something like this. I come from a long life of strong woman. Proceed with caution. So you can make things of this. She wants. Okay, yeah, that's not inappropriate. Uh, I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. It's like kind of like a 90s thing, 80s even. So, um, donut shirt, whatever. You can just. I could draw things like this if I really wanted. I could do this. I could. Well, this is. Oh, this is probably just a photo, and this is drawn. So, but yeah, if this would be like a drawn that is like high level, that would take me a bit of time to do. So I could do it, but it's okay. As an art, as an artist, there are also very little limits for me. Um, I know I can go from very realistic to like drawing like cartoons and all kinds of stuff. But of course, I mean, it will take time to, and of course, the things that I like, uh, like this, I like to look at this, but I don't see myself drawing like this way. I could draw a bit like this, but it will be my own style. Um, so there are all sorts of things that you can do. But yeah, working with text is different. Like working, like making, like actual drawing. But yeah, if you're an artist, you could do this, and then you could like Teespring and Redbubble. You could put it on both. You could put it on Redbubble, on Teespring, and I think there's another one also. And just put it and even put it on Printify and then connect to Etsy. So you could do all these things with this one design, and go and then and if you need help, I could, yeah, just ask me because I'm studying this really hard. Okay, so another thing is like if you have any, this is completely different by the way. These skills you can go to Upwork if you like. This is like a freelancer thing. So like for me as a coder, or if you're an artist, or if you get good at like e-commerce, you want to help other people with certain skills you have. You can like uh, do little jobs for people here, help them like with maybe their website, help them with like making some art for them. And the other thing is Fiverr. This is very competitive, so the price is really hard. You have to be or really good, or but it's also maybe it's a good way to just get started. Like if you really want some money, you need some money, you're willing to like do anything for some money. Fiverr could be a good easy way to get those few dollars in, or good few euros that you need if you're willing to work hard for it. And I mean, even if you get low pay and do have to work hard, like let's say you're an artist, if you don't get work as an artist, and I say this as being somebody who have studied art and being an artist my whole life, like if you look at Van Gogh or anyone, these people, they were actually painting every day. It's not like they were like blessed by God with this skill and never painted, and then suddenly this picked up a brush and they drew Starry Night. I mean, like Van Gogh actually was he was really good at realistic painting. He went to art school and he could have like, and like if you look at yeah, all these artists are really good artists. And even like the modern art, although it looks kind of like flaky, like what, just people dropping paint on the screen. They were actually very skilled, and there was like there were a lot of intelligence behind it. But having said that, although they were like talented and skilled and all these things, they also worked. And so like going to Fiverr and just doing artwork for people, like if I would be only an art guy, that's definitely, and I wouldn't have like anything going with my art right now, I would probably offer my services as an art person and just do that all day long. But because I am also a business person, I just want to focus on selling my own product through like Printify, Etsy, Redbubble. I'd rather just now spend some time um creating my own artwork and then selling that and building that business up. Now it will take maybe longer for me. Yeah, you don't know. You might spend like 100 hours on it and then only get like in the beginning a few euros coming in. But like 1 year later, those hundreds of hours you put in could equivalent like maybe thousands of euros a month from doing art on like selling your art on Redbubble, through t-shirts and through clothing and all this stuff. Now of course I want to even go beyond that, and I want to like have my own business, um businesses I should say, from which is going to be hopefully with my friend from Africa, where he's going to find some nice clothing and help me, like we can, because of course he would have to like buy the stuff, would have to give him some money for the stuff, he would have to buy it. And it's good that we have this friendship and that we're like brothers, that I can trust him, already trust him with my mother's life. So I'm probably going to trust him with that money. I'm just going to give him money for like to buy those clothes, and then he will have to send that through out wherever, to Holland, to America, wherever the customers are, and then hopefully we can make it profitable and then build a company from that, so that people there in his area will have some more income. And who knows, hopefully my dreams will come true and I will be able to like go there and like I said, set up a program, like a microfinance program, where we will have like a seamstress who will make clothing. Maybe I will put my designs in, maybe I will hire designers, maybe we can use the local designers. Yeah, probably that will be a really good idea, because we want to keep it local, so I will look for local design. Actually, he was always talking about the design. You want like this design, that design. So he was talking about the price of the design. So he's already talking about local design there. And I said, well, I want high quality, because yeah, we got it's not going to be that cheap. We have to send it all over the world. It has to send to America. They're going to be like so there's going to be like, it's not like buying it from a local market there. If you want to buy from a local market there, you would have to go on a plane, go to Africa and buy it from a local market there. You could do that, but yes, I'm going to bring the marketplace to people, to your door. So yeah, there's going to be shipments prices, there's going to be packaging prices, they're going to be I probably have to do advertisements through like Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram shout outs, and whatever I have to do to get these websites notice. So yeah, so they're going to be like, if they make a pants there for like 20 euros or equivalent of that, $20, then it might end up like being 60 euros or $60 to buy it, because there's going to be so much like extra cost on top of that. But the main thing is that uh, we're not gonna have they're gonna get what they deserve for the local price. Like they're probably gonna love working for my company, because they would sell it probably higher to my company than to like a local market. Now I don't want to completely out I'm not going to be much higher than local market, because be fair for the local people, that but stealing all their best seamstresses and like they're gonna be walking around in rags there. But yeah, I'm not gonna underpay them. That's for sure. That's not my thing. I'm not gonna say, oh, yeah, you're all working for me. Like, oh yeah, the whole village is working for me. Now I can just halve the prices and just gonna pay them all half because what are they gonna do? I'm not gonna be Scrooge and just mess around with people like that and their livelihoods. Like I'm just gonna extort people, and as actually it's gonna be. I'm just gonna just ask if something helps, it doesn't work out economically, I would just go towards the buyers and say, well, look, this is not working out. I'm sorry, I have to raise the price of the thing another 10% because I have to I want to keep paying a fair price to like the actual workers, and I don't want to put the problems of this company into their hands. So I'm going to turn it around, and it's up to the buyers to decide, am I going to keep supporting these people in Africa, or I'm going to say, well, the price is going to go up, is too much. So ClickBank, that's another thing. Like we're still talking about e-commerce, right? ClickBank is affiliates. Affiliate is another way, and to sell products, but without actually buying the products. Like I said, like if you want to go to Alibaba, you have to like spend. You have to buy if you want to sell this T-shirt, boom, or you sell this dress. You have to buy them. So if you want to buy this dress, it's 2,500. If you just for buying like 100 pieces, right? Oh, it says 30 pieces. So you have to buy at least 30 pieces to like even order from them. You see? I assume that is what this means. So, or is it 30 pieces, 25 euros? Holy moly! Wait a minute. Actually, it's probably like 30 pieces, 25 euros. Are you serious? No. Are you serious? I mean, it's just a piece of cloth. It's not even like, it doesn't probably have much seams in it. Although, anyway, the quality might not be that great. So, but yeah, I mean, but I'd rather buy this. This is probably from China. I'd rather buy this from India at from a local market. Have a guy there that, or go there myself, and or make friends there, get connections, and set up my own distribution center from India, where I would like make sure that everything that distribution center buys and that I sell is fairly priced, you know. So yeah. Now I'm not saying that this is not fairly priced, um, but yeah, you would India, Pakistan, okay. So, but you would have to make sure, you know what I mean? You have to make sure that everything is going around, that everything is going well. But yeah, I could like even like sell stuff like this. I probably don't the Africa one because it's India, but or I would have to make it more of a multicultural thing. But anyway, I don't know. Or I could just say probably better to. I don't know what to do. But yeah, if you know, just let me know. So this is Alibaba. You can buy things from here, and then you can even get it from Africa. But this is completely. So you have to buy the things actually. So you have to spend like maybe 1,000, 10,000, 5,000 euros to get one piece, one set of items in your local area. Get it local, then store it, and then sell it. Hire people to do the distribution or do it yourself. So if you have 10,000 pieces, somebody has to like package every piece, put a sticker on it, bring it to like the post office and send it. That's a lot of work. And if so ClickBank is much easier because you get affiliate. An affiliate is where somebody is giving you money for promotion. Yeah. So like I said, like if I have my web store, every web store is the same thing. Everyone who sells has something to sell has the same thing. How do I get noticed by people, right? So if I would be good at that, I could set up a website, or want to become good at that, and that's something that's going to be very important for me to become good at that. I would have to set up like my own store or Shopify store, and then work with like Instagram, work with Google Ads, with Facebook Ads, and then use those things to draw people from Facebook, from Instagram, from Google to my web shop. On this web shop, I would like talk about those products of other people that they have, that I have affiliate links of, and then when people click on that affiliate link and actually buy something from that store, I will get a kickback. Now, the nice thing of this is it's a really good. You're doing all the things uh, for selling a product, but you don't have like all the you don't have to do all the work. It's like adoption. you don't have, you don't have the 9 months and stuff. You just have the baby. You have the kid. But yeah, so it's like you don't have affiliate. Well, then still there's still a lot of work having and taking care of a kid, of course. But yeah, it's like you don't have to produce it, which already I don't have to produce anything, of course, when I buy them from Alibaba. But even just like and even just like a bit like AliExpress is where you just advertise something, but here you still have to get the money and then buy it and then send it and do some extra work to actually make it move from this place to that place to that person. Although I think Oberlo can help you with that. But yeah, um, and like let's say with like, so it's kind of I think it's probably like if you really like want to start doing e-commerce, looking into affiliate links. I mean, you could have let's say you have a YouTube channel or like an Instagram channel, or you have something that really, if you have like a lot of followers, or you know how to, then you could like just tell people about something that you like, or you have a website that a lot of people go to, or if you're willing to build something like that, you could use these affiliate links as an easy way to actually make money off that. So you're putting all the work into something that people want. So if you love dogs and you have this whole channel about dogs, Instagram with all these photos about dogs, or you make YouTube videos about dogs, or you have a website with all this information about dogs, you can say, hey, look at all the wonderful information about dogs that I'm giving you for free. Hey, look, there's also this product that I think that might be good, or actually it is good. I tried it, I love it, and then you just put the link there, and people buy it, and you get some money off that. So this is like a very easy way to get into e-commerce, because it just you don't have all the hassle of dealing with actually like having a product yourself. You only need to link to a product. Only find the links, and ClickBank can provide you with links. So just join ClickBank, and then you will see all these links that you can use in your feeds or whatever. What's this? Okay, so another internet thing that you could do is like, if you're good at something, like let's say an artist, you could, or like anything that you have to teach, you can put your teachings on Udemy. Maybe something I will look at sometime at some time. I don't know. Maybe I just do a programming course or something, or an art course, maybe Photoshop, or maybe like the thing I'm doing now, just a bit more organized. So um, so it will fit into their system. Um, and then finally, if you want a good site, you can buy sites on Flippa. So you can like, if it's too much work to start from the ground up and you have some money, you could buy a site, and then yeah, either upgrade that site, just use the site, and like the natural income that is coming from that site, that will go to you then. So like I said, like I don't know what this is 20, oh, it costs 20,000, starting price 10,000 euros. So this is a site, electronics. So like I said, like you could do affiliate links on this site. So Shopify, so it's already getting um, net profit 10,000 a month. So if you buy it for $10,000, yeah, you could like in like by the end of the year you could have this money back, and then it would start making more profit for you. Now the only thing I would say with this is will have to keep next month. It the profits could go down if you don't know how to deal with the site. So if you don't know anything about what this site is about, electronics industry, yeah. Look at this, cars. Okay, this is already something that I'm not that good at cars. You know, I love having a beautiful car, but and I never do anything that I can afford. So I actually have a car now, which I still need to. A lot of things need to be done on that, but yeah, my favorite cars there are just very expensive. They would be like 30,000 euros at least. So yeah, I love like let's say Camaro. Camaro SS should be good. Yeah, and you want it like before like 69 or something. Like nice old one. Here, look at this. Beautiful. This beautiful stuff. Yeah, these kind of cars. Uh, like look at this. Look at the hood. So cool. Oh, it's so shiny. Yeah, these are. I mean, this one is a bit boring, the all black one, but yeah, like with like stripes. Look with the stripes here. This is dark gray stripe. This is like nice matte black, but it's still a bit. Oh, look at the white stripes on this one. Ah, it's beautiful, like burgundy red or something. Whatever. Oh, this yellow one. I love the stripes. Anyway, these are the cars. And the thing is about these cars is like they're like probably like 30,000 euros at least. But like if you would ever have to sell them, they would probably be even worth more. Like if I would like put this in a garage, they could go. Look at this white one. Anyway, like take good care of it, and like 10 years later, maybe it's 40,000. And if you like give it to your grandchild one day, it's maybe like 100,000 or a million. You know, like these cars only get these are not liabilities; these are assets. Anyway, so that's I don't even think about cars because I don't have that kind of money right now. So there's no use to think about it. So this side would not work for me. But if it would be just like about the technology in it, like if you look at the phone stuff and everything, I mean I could probably, if somebody asked me to like manage a site like this, I could get into it. I wouldn't mind learning about all these beautiful cars and all the all the stuff. I love electronics too. So yeah, so that's like having a flipper. You can just buy a site, or if you already have a successful site, you could sell it. Let's say I set up like this site, and there's some like I would never do this to the like the Africa site, build Africa site, because it's like a lifelong dream. But like say, let's say I would have had a site like this, and I grow bored with it, and I can just I have like let's say my Build Africa site is asking so much more time of me, and actually I can afford to get rid of this site, and then I would probably get rid of this site because I you know there's only some things you can do in a day. So if I don't have time to do the upkeep on this site, I would probably sell it for like 20,000, and then spend more time on like the Build Africa thing. But now I probably would set up something like this and then one day sell it. So that's something else you could do with, and also like maybe you just want to retire. Maybe your site is like 2 million euros worth, you know. So I guess I didn't know I was gonna talk to you guys so much about all this e-commerce, but like I said, I've been studying like pretty much like 16 hours a day since the whole thing started, and just listening to all these all these options available to me, and I made this whole booklet with all these ideas and all these tools and all these things, and I just opened up some of these things just to give you an overview of all the things that I have available and you have available to do e-commerce. But just to give a synopsis, what I would think, uh, do some think about what are you? Are you an artist? Are you a designer? Are you like a writer? Like you can even write your own book. There's another publish it, and then you don't even need to sign up somewhere with somebody. And I've written some things. I had like a science fiction book I wrote a long time ago. And it was way before and it's actually the same story. And it was before that I wrote it like a long time before, like multiple years before. But I know you know maybe you know the series Dark Angel about is about a woman who is like genetically modified, and then she's owned by. This is actually I had the same story, but I had more to it. There was also like I had an artificial intelligence. Maybe I'll rewrite it, but and publish it. I don't know, but it's like basically much Dark Angel, the whole story about like this person coming out of this facility. But so I'm a good writer, you know. I mean, I have good ideas. But yeah, you can publish. So you just write a book and just publish it. So what are you? Think about what you are, because if you're gonna spend your lifetime or a lot part of your lifetime working on something, then what is your exit strategy? If you like it, but if you want to do it your whole life, then you don't really need an exit strategy, because you're gonna do it your whole life, right? If you're not sure you're gonna do it your life, you're gonna think, well, maybe I want to sell it on Flippa if I get tired with it and I want to do something else. So set up your account so you can sell it to other people. Don't use your personal email, but set up a special email for that account and do everything with that email on that account. So if you have to sell that site to somebody, you can just give that person their email account, like a Gmail account, and they would get all the assets belonging to that site and having all the connections, and just can take over that whole site with having that email account, you know. So think about that. But more important is like, are you an artist? Can you do like if you can write, you can make you can use like Redbubble, Teespring, Printify, and Etsy, and just set up a system where you're selling T-shirts or other stuff. If you're really good at art, you can do like the graphical thing, like here, build. Look at this, like make all these designs and do all these things. So there's so much to do. If you're more of a business person, you're not really not anything about like art or anything about like writing stuff, then you could just skip this whole thing. You could just like go to AliExpress or even Alibaba if you have some money to invest and you want to go serious. There's also something like Amazon FBA. Now this is expensive to set up. There's going to be a lot of like several thousand euros to set up and a lot of fulfillment by Amazon FBA. So you would buy stuff like from Alibaba, send it to just buy it from Alibaba. You would buy like a couple of thousand of these things, and then you would send it to Amazon. Amazon would like keep it in their warehouse, so you wouldn't have to have your own, wouldn't take up any space in your, you don't have to think about that. You wouldn't have to hire somebody to send it. They will do the whole like free shipping, storage, removals, and returns. So they will do the whole thing for you. But you still have to buy the stuff and send it to them. But once it arrives at their warehouse, they will take over and they will completely finish the whole delivery system of that product to the customer. So it's a bit like drop shipping, except you actually bought the product and send it to them, and they will do the fulfillment of it. And yeah, it's you're not it could be anything. So you're not depending on only selling T-shirts. You could actually, let's look at Alibaba, all the things that they have. Well, this is a lot of clothing, but something that's not clothing. Anyway, just look at all the things that are not, yeah, cameras. I mean, you could buy cameras. Here, buy these a couple of these things. Just buy them, and if you think they're good products, do research. Of course, there's a whole thing on research. Research is really important, like, because if you're gonna if you have to spend a lot of money investing into this, you have to make sure that people are actually gonna buy those things from you. You know, so, and that is the main thing about all of this, is the risk, and that's the difference between like doing something with Teespring, where you just spend some time doing an artistic thing. You can spend like one evening making some art and putting it on a T-shirt, and then you might get return on that or not. But like if you're the business person and you cannot do that, I would say go start maybe with AliExpress, because then you're drop shipping. There's no really, you don't have to buy the things. You can just put make advertise. You only need to like try and sell things. You have to focus on like advertising the product and setting up the website for that, like either like a Shopify or like your own site. You know, probably hire me for that, of course, but or use Oberlo, whatever. But um, yeah. Also, the other thing is with Shopify and Oberlo is why it's definitely better to. I'm not saying this because I want to sell you on something, because you could do it anywhere. You can set it, but the thing is that uh, especially with like if you're the business person and you want to focus on like getting people towards the site. If you don't own the site, like if I would set up if you would set up your own store, you would have your own URL, and that you can and that's what you're advertising. So 10 years from now you would still have this same URL. You will be owner, and ownership is so important in business, because you will never own your Shopify. You're renting a space. Renting is never good. If Shopify decides they do not like what you're selling or your attitude, you know, they just kick you out. And believe me, that is not a good place to be in, because let's say you have $1 million business, or like let's say you get like 10,000 a year from, or 10 or 30 or 40,000 a year on your Shopify shop, and they decide to kick you out. You're not going to get the money. You have to pretty much start from scratch again, because all your advertisement stuff, all the clients you had, they were all connected to the Shopify shop. And when it comes to like if somebody would set up, if you have your own web shop and your own URL, your own domain name, that domain name you can put onto another web shop, and people will automatically go to your new web shop. If for some reason there would be something wrong with your web shop, if you no longer like the web shop that you have and you want to move over your clients, you can just log into your system, download all the information of your clients, all their emails, and have an email list, and just send them like, look, hey, we're gonna send them to your new location. So you're not, when you have your own, and there's so much important actually to have your own website than to have your own, yeah, to just use Shopify actually. I mean, I don't know. It's just so much better for the long run. I mean, because you're investing so much time in setting something up, and then it could be taken away from you. So yeah. So if you're a business person, I would say try AliExpress, because that's really like there's no investment except for maybe if you want to do maybe getting the website, your time, and seeing how you can maybe buying ads, or setting some other system up where you get get people on that site and actually buy those things. So yeah, I think wow, I thought it was gonna like 20 minutes, but I guess like all these things that I've learned is not gonna be put in 20 minutes. I hope you're having a beautiful day, lovely people. Yeah, and I'll make you something soon again, and lots of love. Bye bye.